Viewers, in what can be seen as a significant escalation, Iran has reportedly struck and seriously damaged America's most formidable fighter jet, the F-35. The visual you can see on your screens right now. As per reports, an American F-35 fighter jet made an emergency landing after being struck by Iranian fire in the wee hours on Thursday. Now, this is what we know so far as per reports. As far as this particular incident over central Iran is concerned. What we know is that it was an F-35 that was damaged by suspected Iranian fire. It made an emergency landing at a US air base. It is the fifth generation fighter jet that was in a combat mission over central Iran. Stealth jet landed safely. The pilot is absolutely safe, but the investigation is now underway because, viewers, it is the first time that Iran has hit a US jet in this war, and that too formidable F-35. Now, if this is correct, then this will mark the first known instance of Tehran striking one of the most advanced fighter jets in American arsenal today, since the war began on 28th of February. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has said that the stealth fighter was targeted by air defense systems over central Iran. And it also, in a way, tells us about the capabilities of Iranian defense systems. Now, if what IRGC is claiming is true, then this is a big setback for America, and here's why. Look at why this particular aircraft is extremely important. This is American Air Force's latest fifth-generation fighter jet. And it is world's, not just America's, it is world's most advanced fighter jet. And if we tell you a little bit more about it, it is known for its stealth capabilities. It is advanced in a lot of ways with modern technology. It is a multi-role fighter jet that's designed for deep strikes, surveillance. It is most lethal and survivable fighter jet that is there in the sky today. It can gather, share and process more information than any other fighter jet that we have seen so far in the world. So this is why it is extremely important, and the price tag is interesting as well. It costs over $100 million. It is the most lethal, most formidable fighter jet that US has in its arsenal right now. It's being used by US as well as Israel. And if reports are true, then this one has been targeted by Iran. It has, suffered serious damage because of Iranian fire. And then this will mark a significant escalation in the ongoing war that we are witnessing. Now, viewers, if F-35 is the first one, but there are other jets also that US has lost in this particular war so far. Let's tell you a little bit more about it. It was two F-15 fighter jets, in fact, that were shot down by mistake by Kuwaiti air defenses, and this happened in the beginning. And then we had another important aircraft. This is a refueling aircraft, KC-135 Strato tanker refueling aircraft. This crashed in western Iraq. So there are these other aircraft that US has also lost in this war so far. Involving two F-15 fighter jets. The incident that took place, all 6 crew members managed to eject out of the aircraft safely. They are safe. But as far as this refueling aircraft is concerned that crashed, in this case, all 6 crew members were killed. They could not survive. So this is the latest update as far as America's arsenal, American aircraft are concerned. We also spoke with, in fact, a warfare analyst, Tom Cooper. Listen in to what he said.
Say a dozen of US and Israeli aircraft hit by Iranian air defenses. Now, the problem is that many of these aircraft, especially such like F-15, but also F-35, have their built-in survivability. That means they can survive a hit. Not necessarily a direct hit, but they can survive, damage from proximity fusing warhead and remain operational. I mean, not operational, but fireable at least, steerable enough to be flown back to the base. There was this KC-135 to nights ago, which made an emergency landing at Ben Gurion Airport in Israel. And then there was this loss of one, or crash, or, well, yeah, the US sources say actually there was some sort of a mistake in organization of the entire operation, and these two KC-135s flew kind of collided frontally, with one taking the fin away from the other, but then crashing, and the other surviving to return to Ben Gurion International. The other story is that the Popular Mobilization Forces of Iraq, which are Iran-controlled, IGC-controlled force, Shia of Iraq, have actually used one of latest Iranian air defense missiles, 359. This is a mix actually of missile and drone, a loitering missile, if you like. It climbs up to over 8,000 meters high, and then circles up their orbits and waits for a suitable target. And it's guided by its own seeker head, which is infrared guided. That means it's seeking for sources of heat in the night over a cold desert in the cold sky. KC-135 is an ideal target for something of that kind, especially because these Popular Mobilization Forces, they can easily smuggle such a weapon by a car, actually a small truck, somewhere to western Iraq, where the US tankers are operating.
Let's now go across to my colleague Rishabh, who is joining us live at this point in time. Rishabh, good morning. On the F-35 incident, has there been any official statement from America?
Well, there have been certain media interviews in U.S. media that now has confirmed, Captain Hawkins from the Central Command, U.S. Central Command, has confirmed that yes, one F-35 Lightning II, which is an upgrade version of F-35, was hit. As of now, it did an emergency landing that has been confirmed by the U.S. Central Command officer, but the reason for the emergency landing has not been confirmed. What the visuals suggest that it was hit by the anti-aircraft fire by Iran. Remember, this F-35 Lightning II aircraft of US Air Force was operating in central Iran, above the central Iran. And what we are given to understand that this was in a combat operation while it encountered fire coming in from ground. And that's when it was forced to do a landing, a forced landing. What we're given to understand, it landed somewhere in UAE at a US air base. Now, the major question is, F-35 Lightning II happens to be a world's most expensive aircraft, fighter aircraft. It is most advanced that US have. And then when this happens, there are major questions because it is being done by Iran, which has been under sanction for 45 years now.
Absolutely.
So there are major questions on US Air Force right now.
Thank you very much, Rishabh. Appreciate you joining us with your inputs on this story. Let's now move on and shift our focus to another important update that we are getting at this point in time. And we have learned that 65